Alright folks, today we're going to build a shelf. We are going to go from these 12-inch shelves. Now these Rubbermaid or these closet made, these types of shelves usually come in 12, 16 or 20. We want them to be a little bit bigger. So what we're going to do is we're actually just going to build wood shelves. That way we can modify them and change them as we need to. I'll show you exactly how we're going to do it. I'm going to make a different video on how to take out these, because you got to be careful. I learned it, so I should have probably looked it up on YouTube, but I'm going to provide a YouTube video that tells you how to take these out. Some of the things you're going to want to have are a tape measure, a level, you're going to want a pocket knife, a drill, and a saw. Once I take you outside, I'll show you some of the wood that we're using, and then obviously some screws to screw it together. Here's how we're going to start. First, we're going to take our measurements, the back wall, and then how far out the front we want it to. Now remember, if you put your side ones next to the wall, then it just needs to be as long as your shelf. If you put the whole back rail, then you're going to have to subtract the thickness of that board. Otherwise this will stick out, which really doesn't matter. We're going to get those measurements right now. Alright, it's about 32. And then I already know that I want to come out 24. You could use any type of saw for this. A skill saw, hacksaw, table saw, sawzall. So we know that we want one that's 32. We're going to go ahead and mark that off. On something this small, it's tough because you want it to be straight, but it's hard to make it straight. So now here's the problem. If I was to cut one 24 inches, it would be 24 inches plus this, so it would stick out past the end of our shelves. So what we're going to do is we're going to take 24 minus however thick this is. It's probably about 3/4 of an inch. So we're going to do, it's exactly 3/4 of an inch. So we're going to do 23 1/4. Exactly 3/4 of an inch. So what we're going to do is we're going to make two that are 23 1/4. Let's go ahead and do that. So we're going to want to get a nice clean finish on the end of our 23-inch ones, because they'll be visible. So you're going to want to pick your straightest edge and get a little sand on it. You'd be amazed, it doesn't take much at all, and it's going to give it a nice clean edge. See how it cleans up all those rough edges, gives it a nice clean. And that's our straight side. Just want to pick the side because we're going to be able to cover up the other end, because no one's going to see it for one, and anything that doesn't match we'll be able to clear up with some white caulk if we decide to paint our shelves white, or you can just paint over the caulk, put the caulk in first and then paint. One thing I want to do is I just want to pre-drill these so I know exactly what's going on. A countersink bit would be great. To countersink these, we're going to just measure out where we want them. I think I'm going to do 3 along this board because even though it's a short board, it is going to have a lot of weight on it. Just going to drill your pilot holes. So you got your pilot holes drilled. If you got a countersink bit, obviously that's the way to go. But then just get you a little bit bigger one. And you can drop it down as far as you want. Now, is this as accurate? Nope. But a little white caulk allows you to cover up the screw head, and you'll never actually even see them if you want. Now, removing them may be difficult. There you go. You can see that although it's not quite a countersink tool, it's not that bad. Alright, let's get to hanging these bad boys. Alright, we're going to install the backboard first. We're actually going to try to cover up the holes where the old shelves were. Going to want to get that as level as possible, obviously. Screw 2. Now you could use a drywall anchor kit, but with all the support we have on this, I don't think that's going to be necessary. We're going to join these two up. You're going to use your finger to make sure they're perfect. You can feel with your finger so much better. And then we're going to make it level. Okay, you're going to want to just double check this joint right there. And I mean it's smooth. You want it to be smooth, smooth. Alright, here we go on the other side. Just want to make sure the right end of your board is sticking out. Okay, we're going to get that perfectly smooth with your finger. You want it perfectly smooth, and like I said, your finger can feel it way better than anything else. And then we're going to want that bubble right on target. Let me get my big head out the way. Alright, looking pretty good. Now we're just going to go cut the shelves to lay on top of this. That's going to have to be a pretty accurate cut. As you see, even though we measured 32 inches, we do have a slight gap right there. Now, although that's not going to be seen, we definitely don't want our shelf to have that gap in it. Alright, so we're going to cut our second shelf. The first shelf we cut happens to fit perfectly in place on the front. So we're just gonna cut the next one and see if we can get it to fit. Measure twice, cut once, isn't that what they say? And we are right on point there. Alright, so right here, this mud in the corner's got a little fat. So I'm 1 inch from sliding in. Other than that, you can see that that's going to be a very nice shelf. So, because of the inconsistencies in the wood, I'm just going to get a simple wood file. Not only do a little back and forth on the wood, but we're going to have to go back and forth to your closet and just keep checking it to see if it's going to fit. With these rough wood files, it doesn't take much though. Let's go see if she fits. Beautiful. So as you can see, that's what we're going to. Nice shelf, nice ends here, and almost double this, well, not almost, exactly double the space. It's going to be perfect.